Welcome to Random in Tandem. I'm your co-host Eliza.
And I'm Natalie. Eliza, how
Hmm.
is your week going? What's going on?
Oh, it's going. What day is it? Wednesday? Wednesday.
Yes, it's a
Um,
good day.
is it? I was supposed to get COVID testing today, and I'm really glad they said no because I did not want to stick up my nose tickling my brain. I really wasn't looking forward to that. But the lady said no over the phone, so I was happy about that.
Man,
Um,
I hear a lot of people getting tested, or their
mhm.
friend of a friend of a friend got COVID or passed
Yes.
away. I feel like we're
Mhm.
going through another wave. And I was just listening
Yeah.
to a YouTuber who lives in Paris. He says that they're doing another shutdown. You know Nathaniel Drew that I like
Yeah.
to listen to?
Yeah. I was just gonna
Yeah.
ask if that was him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, okay, here we go again. So yeah, France is
Jeez.
on lockdown.
So is Germany. They locked down last Monday for a month. I mean, I was talking with Jess, who I work with, and it just feels like because she knows, I guess there's quite a few people. Maybe I thought it was her. It could be someone else. People that I know seem to know a lot of other people that are getting it or have been possibly exposed to it from someone else. And it really just kind of is creeping into our lives more and more than it was the first two times around. I feel like this is the third wave. I feel like we had one kind of in the end of summer a little bit. Uh, anyways, I'm glad that I don't have to get tested.
Any
But
exciting news this week, maybe?
oh, sorry. Yes, that is a downer, isn't it? I mean, I'm excited I don't have to get tested. Uh, so I think I told well, no, I guess like a year ago, yeah, 2 summers ago, I started to get some tattoos removed.
Uh-huh.
I got one on my arm removed. I have a few more sessions to do, and then I got one on my finger removed, which is not working out very well because that was the homemade tattoo. Anyways, um, but I have one on my leg, and it's very detailed.
Hmm.
It's black, so it'll be easy to remove. But boy, there's a lot of lines, um, and it's the entire back part of my lower leg. But I would show you, but I'm not going to lift my leg up in the air on camera. That's a bad idea. Um, so I made an appointment to get it removed, and I'm
Oh, whoa.
scared. Yeah, it's gonna be that was the most painful tattoo I got. So having a laser applied to it on all of the lines, because they have to go through and follow each line. And you have to
Hmm.
do like 8 to 10 sessions. So
Wow.
I don't want to, but I do want to. I want to get rid of the tattoo.
Huh.
And um just because it's covering up another homemade tattoo. I was young once.
Yes.
Yes, and my friend was he wanted to be a tattoo artist, and he was a great artist, and he wanted to do tattooing, and I was like, "Yeah, here's my leg and stuff," and, that's a bad idea. So, it's a cover up for that I never got finished,
Hmm.
and it's been so many years now that if I wanna finish it, they'd have to start all over anyway, so they'd have to
Hmm.
re-outline it, and I'm just like, "I don't even like it on my leg, though." Like, as I get older, I don't I like the tattoos I have. I love the tattoos I have, but the ones on my legs, I don't. I didn't really
Yeah.
like the one on my leg. I only have one. Ooh,
So,
I have another one on on our foot, our cat tattoo. Anyways,
oh, yes, that one too. But
yeah,
when you were thinking about removing tattoos, first of all, is it equally as painful as when you're getting one?
possibly a little bit more, a
Yeah.
smidge. It depends on where it's at, I guess. Because like getting the tattoos on my arms, on like my forearms, didn't. Sure, you could feel it. There's pain. Wasn't nearly as painful as getting it removed. But the laser takes, I mean, it's maybe a few minutes, really. It
Hmm.
doesn't take very long. And they have a cooling machine to cool down your arm and try to numb it as much as they can. They give you a squeeze ball, and then I always cuss. I'm always like, fuck, 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 fuck. It feels like rubber bands snapping on a sunburn, which I know everyone says it's also what a tattoo feels like. So it's kind of like that. For my leg, though, the lady who's been doing my tattoo removals, I reached out to her and I found a highly rated numbing cream online. And I asked, is it okay if I put that on like an hour before? And she said, yeah, that'd be perfect. So hopefully that'll help a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see. Who
Mhm.
knows? If she starts to and I'm like, "No, fuck that," then I'll just get it redone and colored in instead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope I don't have to do that. But
So you mentioned
anyways.
that the one on your leg you just want to get rid of because it was when you were younger. Maybe you don't want to have it anymore. Or is there a
Well,
specific?
um, I guess, like, the more I don't know, like, I like it. So what I was covering up is a little red cross. Don't ask. Not it's like the red cross. Like, it's just I don't know why I did that. I don't even know if it was my idea, to be honest. It might have been his. I don't know. I was, like, 17. Um, and so what I got to go over it was an anatomical heart. I was like,
Mhm.
"What's red and would be big enough?" And something that I like. So I have that, and then there's a ribbon kind of wrapping around it with some Foo Fighter lyrics and some
Mm.
flames and, like, music notes and everything. So I do love the tattoo, but I guess as I get older and more comfortable with myself and realize that I like how I look and I like who I am and I am pretty and all these things, that I kind of want less tattoos in some places
Mhm.
because I don't feel as pretty with them. And I know that's not true for everyone. Obviously, I love tattoos and I love people with tattoos. It's just me feeling I don't feel as feminine with this large ass tattoo on the back of my leg,
Gotcha.
you know? And I'm not
Yeah.
so attached to it that I have to keep it, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think part of the reason why I never even considered getting a tattoo was because I couldn't think of anything that I would want on my body
mhm.
permanently.
Mhm.
Like, I know I'm gonna change. Today I like tea, tomorrow I like coffee. And then what
Mhm.
if I'm gonna hate that thing? So I don't
Yes.
know. Although
Yeah.
I so like when other people have some kind of cool artistic body art done. First of
Yeah.
all, I like it for artistic perspective. And also I
Mhm.
like a lot of times to get like a history or story behind that tattoo.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes. That's I love tattoos and I always have and I
yeah.
love it for those reasons. When the reason I started getting tattoos, if I'm being honest, shit's about to get real. Um, if I'm being honest, the reason I got them was that was a way I didn't realize it at the time, but that was certainly a way for me to deal with my depression. Is if I was angry or sad or whatever, getting a tattoo felt good. I liked it. That's where I put my emotions, and that's why I'm getting some of them removed.
Yeah.
'Cause that was not a healthy way to deal with that, and I have 14 tattoos, and out of that, 3 of them I'm getting removed. I don't think that's too bad.
No.
I and if I had to keep them, I would. Like, it's not like, "Oh my god, I need them removed. Get these off of me." It's just like, you know, let me try it, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, I
Yeah.
don't know. But it was certainly a way for me to deal with my depression, growing up in yeah. So,
Mhm. Mhm. I was just gonna ask how many you have, but
yeah,
yeah,
14.
I I was like, I can't believe that, in my mind, I thought I would never get one. Shit's about
But
to get real. Like for me, it's a big deal that I have one little cat tattoo.
I know.
Like
But
honestly, very few people know, and that's such a big thing for me because being Ukrainian, living in that country during 90s growing up, you always see tattoos on older men that came out of
mhm,
jail. So there's always
mhm.
that association, like, are you a prisoner or something?
Right.
um
You little
so it was
hoodlum.
a, yeah, big, like a kind of not stereotype, but like almost when you see somebody with a tattoo, you think poorly of them.
Mhm.
So when younger,
Discriminating?
kind of, yeah. When you then see younger people starting to get tattoos, they're like, "Oh my gosh, rebels! What's gonna
Mm, mhm,
be? You're not gonna be able to get a job. What are you thinking?" So
mhm,
that's like Ukrainian perspective. So I would never dare to do that. Although sometimes I would watch some of my friends who move abroad, and they feel more liberated because nobody's watching their backs. They would get a
Mhm.
cute butterfly tattoo or a cute something tattoo. It's like, oh, that's cute. Like
Yeah.
they're not prisoners.
Right. Right. Did you I can't remember. Did you tell your family?
Oh man, that was like the entire weird story. So, you know, just so our listeners know, back in 2019, was it? Last year?
Two? No, that was last summer. Sorry. Last
2019,
last
yes,
summer.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
June. So I got a new job. Jenny was moving to a different department. So basically, what we were saying is our team was kind of like moving and going to do
Mhm.
other things. So um, we all decided very spontaneously to get cat tattoos.
Can we just tell that story briefly? Because I really love it.
Yes.
That we were we're hanging out at your house, right? We're
Yeah.
all meeting up at your house, or 4 of us. You, me, Jenny, and Michelle. And you and Jenny were already there, and Michelle and I had just arrived. We were walking in, and what were you and Jenny talking about?
We were talking about Jenny's next tattoo, and she was showing me on Pinterest the pictures of the ideas that she has. I was like, wow, that's gorgeous. Watercolor, amazing. And then,
Because I thought you guys were talking about cat tattoos already. Maybe not.
no,
I don't know, but I definitely came in. Like I remember, it's like walking right into the living room, hearing the word tattoo, and being like, "Oh, like, are we all getting tattoos today? Like,
yep,
are we getting matching tattoos?" And that was definitely just a joke, because you and Michelle did not have any tattoos, and but you all said yes,
yes.
and then
I
we did
looked
it.
at Michelle. She looked at me like, oh my gosh, we're doing this. And then we started thinking, what should we do? Well, we were
That's right.
all cat ladies. And then we're
Mhm.
like, oh, a cute little silhouette of a cat. And then we
That's right.
found not matching silhouettes, but some, each of us picked kind of a different
Mhm.
version of it. That was, I think,
The same
great.
style, but
Yeah.
yeah, the cat pose that we wanted for us.
Yeah.
Um, yes, that's the background story. We did it.
Yeah. And that was actually just a couple of weeks before my trip to Europe. I was going to present at a conference there and then go
That's
to see my
right.
parents.
I forgot about that. That's right.
So that's like, okay, my tattoo's still healing and I want to make sure and kind of moisturize it. And so I go to Ukraine and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be odd. And it's summertime. So obviously, shorts, skirts, and dresses.
Mhm.
And so I remember we were in my garden just the first few days. I don't remember, first day maybe, sitting, relaxing. And I do one of those moves when I put my leg on top of my kind of
Mhm.
knee across my legs.
Mhm.
And my mom looked at it and took her eyes away. And I think my dad saw it too, but neither of them said anything the entire time. Like it never happened. They didn't see it
Wow, and they still haven't said anything to this day.
to this day.
That's
And then
interesting.
my cousin was visiting and she's 5 years older than me. And we've been good friends the entire childhood. And I showed her and I explained to her what happened. She's like, it's okay. That's just how things are in Ukraine with our parents. And it's cute.
Yeah.
And so many more young people in Ukraine these days are getting tattoos. And it's getting less and less kind of forbidden thing to do.
Yeah. That's I don't know how to feel about that with your parents, though. My dad never said anything about my tattoos. Nothing. I mean, of course, that's different. It's the United States, I think. And he was of an older generation. He probably was shaking his head behind my back.
Hmm.
It's like, what did this child do? Um,
Did he have any tattoos?
no, and
No.
he was in the military for
Hmm.
years, 20 years, but he never, no. My so I had 3 tattoos done when I was 17 that I hid from them, 2 on my finger, 1 on my leg, and then for my 18th birthday, my parents knew that I was saving up to get a tattoo, And, they're older, in their late 60s or so, and, my mom was just like, "F that, no, you're not doing that." I was like, "Yes, I am, blah, blah, blah." And so then on my birthday, she goes, "Okay, here's the money for your tattoo." It's like, "Okay, mom, like, thanks," which that was awesome. And so but what I got is the album cover for one of my favorite bands, American
Hmm.
Head Charge. Metal band, not appropriate entirely. It's a nurse clown with a syringe. I don't know. I love it. Whatever. My mom never asked me what I was getting, and she never asked me after I got it. But a few years later, I was walking by in my bathing suit, and she grabbed my arm so hard and pulled me around to look at it. She's like, "This is what I fucking paid for." And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "What? Like, you want people to think that you do drugs and this and that?" And I was like, "No, it's art.
Yeah.
Bye."
That
But that was
one's
the only thing
big.
she ever said. That one
Yeah.
is big. It covers my whole back. It
Yeah.
was that was since that was my first professional one, when the guy put on the stencil or whatever
Yeah.
it's called, and he put it on and showed me, it was bigger than I wanted, but I was too scared to say anything. Lesson
Hmm.
people, I was too scared to say anything. He was an older man. He'd been tattooing for years. He's one of those personalities I was just terrified of saying, "No, I don't want it that big," because I thought he'd just punch me and tell me never come back. He ended up being really nice, and I went back to him for another tattoo, so I kind of regret not saying, "No, that's actually a little bit bigger than I planned." Whatever,
Hmm.
though.
Hmm.
It's there. I like it.
If you were to rank your tattoos, or maybe like pick your favorite ones that are most meaningful to you, can you do that? I wonder.
I can.
Okay.
After my dad died, I got his signature. Well, I got "Love Dad" from one of my cards, my 15th birthday to be specific. I got that tattooed on my forearm, and then which I can't bend my arm that way, but that's right there for those that are
Yeah.
watching.
Kyle
and
really
then
loves it.
and then last year I got the SR-71 Blackbird, because that
Mhm.
was my dad's favorite. He was in the Air Force, and he worked on airplanes. He was a mechanic, and he was stationed at one of the very few Air Force bases that had them at the time. So he was one of the few mechanics that got to work on them. And growing up, I mean, he talked about him. He had have a thingy up there, a little model. I mean, he had stuff everywhere. So that was kind of my yeah. I got it last year before doing the Trans Siberian Railway. Also in memory of him because he loved trains. So it seemed to all kind of go together to help me move on with my healing process. So
Yeah,
those are my
that's
top favorites.
cool. Well, I have
But
just one favorite, my cat tattoo.
I mean, that's an awesome one, though. We didn't even say where we got our tattoos at. Well, I guess people know now because you said when you crossed your leg. But is yours on the inside of your ankle then?
Yes. Hmm.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I think mine's
I'm,
on the outside of the ankle.
mhm.
So I
I'm
often forget that it's there.
yeah, it's little.
It is, and it like someone asked me, I haven't seen them in like, oh, it's JJ's parents I saw over the summer, and I hadn't seen them in over a year. And they asked, like, "Oh, did you get any new tattoos?" And I was like, "No." And it was like half the day that I was with them before I was like, "Oh wait, I got a cat tattoo."
Yeah.
Anyways, because I never said it.
I'm actually thinking about adding some watercolor to it to make it
Yes.
more aligned with my personality. I don't know. I think it
Yes.
would bring
No.
some.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you've been wanting to do that. Add
Hmm.
watercolor since we got it. No, that's a good idea.
I feel like Jenny and I wanted to go and do it, but then we went on remote work
Mhm.
style, so that
Mhm.
never happened. I guess we
Yeah.
will celebrate our back to normal by going getting another tattoo or something.
Yes, when Michelle comes back from Florida to visit, we can all go get you guys can get watercolor, and, Michelle and I talked about getting another little tattoo. So, we'll
Yeah.
see, though.
Yes.
But tattoos. How'd you so you never saw yourself getting one?
No. And now that I have one, it's like, oh, I'm still a good person. It didn't
Mhm.
diminish any of my personality traits. It's kind of odd how I was so worried about it, like how my image
Well,
will change, this and that.
I think that's part of your culture, and I think that's part of society here for sure. I know a lot of people that are like that. Um, yeah. I don't JJ recently got one, I think 2 years ago, and she had wanted one the entire time we were together, but she kind of had this, I guess, similar, maybe like she wasn't sure because there is that, what if you don't like it, you know? What if, or like, what if they start to do it and you don't like how it feels? Now you have half of a tattoo or a
Yeah.
line, which has happened, not to me, but I've read stories. Um, so there's a lot of fear behind getting tattoos, and I totally understand that. For me, like once I got my back, like that wasn't okay, I can't really see that one either, but then I got one on my arm, on my shoulder,
Hmm.
and that'd probably be my second favorite one. It says "Slowly Falling Awake," and it's a song from one of my other favorite bands, 10 Years. And I love the song. I love the meaning behind it, and I'm friends with the lead singer who wrote it, and he told me like the dream behind the song and the words and everything. So I got that kind of incorporated into it, and that was my first like one that I could see. And then it was like, I like that, and then it just went on from there. It's like, oh, I
Hmm.
like that. I'm not getting any bad looks or nothing. Yeah, I'm still a good person. All those things, like it's not. And then you just go downhill from there, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
Yeah. I
I don't
also
know.
remember when Kyle had to visit Ukraine for the first time, and he has
Mm,
tattoos on his, arms as well. And I
mhm.
was like, oh my gosh, what will my parents say? I was so worried. But they, again, just didn't
Nothing.
say anything.
Wow.
So funny.
Wow. Would it would it be funny though if your parents secretly had a tattoo?
That would be hilarious.
I don't know why. Maybe my dad did have one. I don't know. Because you never know if your parents do have one or not.
Yeah.
That would be funny though. I don't
Or
know. Would you ever? Hmm?
do you
You
have
go.
any ideas as to maybe some other ones that you would like to get instead of the ones that you currently have? Like, the ones that you're
I
removing.
do. I do. I have some ideas and I'm going back and forth on them. I want to get, so on my other shoulder I have a ship, and it has like, the sky and everything. It has some water. And then I thought it would be really cool to bring it down and do like the rest of the upper part of my arm and maybe on the inside if I can handle it.
It's like a
Like
half sleeve sort of.
yeah, so just do that part like under ocean stuff a little bit. Maybe put a little octopus in there. I don't know. And then transition that into my favorite thing of all time, which is outer space. And get like Jupiter and some, you know, nebula stuff. I think that would be really cool. So it's, I don't know, ocean into
That
the sky.
Yes, that actually reminds me. My niece, who is very progressive, she is a software engineer in Ukraine. She's 22. She has this amazing space type tattoo on her, kind of not chest, but it's kind of tummy, but on the side of the. It's just very interesting.
Hmm.
It's rather big, but also very creative and artistic. I was like, wow,
Hmm.
what a brave girl.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a hidden spot, kind of. I mean, in terms of, I guess,
Daily
being out
daily
and about.
life.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
she has binary code message on
Oh,
her forearm.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, she's
That's
such a nerd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which is
but
awesome.
it's cool. Mhm.
But I don't know if I'd get anything on my stomach or chest. I almost did, and that's the scary part. When I look back at the tattoos I almost got,
Mhm.
I'm glad I didn't. I'm relieved that I didn't. The things that I would have done, I definitely was going to get chest tattoos at one point. I'm glad I did not do that. I guess that's probably the main thing. Oh, and I want to get someone like the back of my neck or the side of my neck, and I'm glad I didn't do
Mhm.
that either. Not like the side of my neck, but the where it meets your shoulder, like in that area. Anyways, I'm glad I didn't do any of those things. So, but
I wonder if
I've been
those.
thinking
I'm just
hurt.
wondering if those would be very painful.
Mm-hmm. I would, yeah. I think the chest one, I mean, I don't know. I think out of those, that area, I think the chest one would be probably the least painful. I think the neck or the side, because what I've found out, which I guess I don't remember if I could really tell on my leg or not when we got the cat tattoos, but where they're drawing at is not really where you feel it. I feel it in radiating in other places. And when I was getting my shoulder stuff done and even my back, I could feel in the base of my head. And like that was very uncomfortable. Not the whole time, but you could at times. And when I get my forearms done, I can feel it in the crease of my arm, which is a nightmare that I don't like at all.
Yeah.
Um, so that's like also something that I started keeping in mind is if I get a tattoo here, where could I possibly, like, where might the feeling actually end up? Because that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I've been wanting the arm one with the underwater and then space. I've been thinking about that one for a couple of years now, so I feel pretty good about going forward with that one.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I don't know. I guess that's all I would want. I don't know. Then I also don't want a sleeve. I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't know. I don't know how many times I can say I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like Kyle wants a sleeve, and I'm like, no, half a sleeve. So we do this little compromise conversation. He's like, okay, half a sleeve on the bottom, on the forearm.
I
And I'm
mean,
like, no.
that is half a sleeve, kind of. No, it's
Yeah, yeah. He's
not.
trying to be silly.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. How come you don't want him to have a sleeve?
I don't know. I just was thinking that maybe half a sleeve would be more appropriate, especially for like more traditional workspaces. You can still wear the short sleeve shirts without creating any first impressions, especially with
Yeah,
like students, faculty, and staff.
yeah.
Um,
Although it's becoming more accepted, I feel like, especially in academia, at least that's been my experience, I guess. But I understand. I mean, God, that was the number one thing that my mom would tell me is how are you going to get a job? You know, all those things. And I believed her for a minute. And then I never had a problem. I never had a problem getting a job,
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
was like, you're lying, mother.
yeah.
No. Um, and I also feel like if, and I don't know, it's just my personality. If I get one sleeve done, I need to match. I want
Hmm.
both sleeves, but I don't want to do a sleeve on this arm because I already have what I want. I don't want to add to it. So like I think that's probably what's holding me back is I don't want to feel like I'm lopsided. It's,
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know. Anyways, tattoos. What would you get if you could get it? If you decide to get another one, would you get another one actually?
I genuinely don't have any ideas, sort of like, sometimes people have these very great ideas or
Mm-hmm.
stories or symbols that really help them remember something important in their lives. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have anything like that, just genuinely.
Get it? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
You mean you're not gonna get random and tandem tattooed somewhere?
Probably not.
Damn.
So when is your removal again?
Next week.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, the sometimes like when for getting my arm done, it would be like, yeah, I have time tomorrow, and it's like, okay, you just go in and quickly
Yeah.
do it and leave. And I love the girl that does it. She's great about making sure I'm comfortable and everything. So, and she's giving me a deal. She's cutting me a really big deal for getting my leg done since I got my arm done. I'm still getting that one. Um, so yeah, and I take videos of her removing it. And I don't know if you can hear me cuss or not, maybe. um, and I've, taken photos of it, as it progresses the process. You can see that's being, and it does work. It's fantastic. So, and I'll take videos when I do my leg. And I want to put them on our social media, on our Twitter and Instagram. So if anyone's interested in seeing the process and or hearing me curse about it, they'll
Yeah,
be there.
I'll be sure to check in with you about that because it sounds like a
Yes,
painful process. It's gonna be interesting. Just I hope it's not though.
it is gonna be painful, and that's why it took me so long to accept the thought of getting my leg removed, not my leg tattoo removed. Keeping my leg, thanks. Is because it was a pain. I don't do well with pain. I don't. Um, and so it was like, is it really worth it going through with that? Could I handle that and all those things? And I mean, I've been thinking about it for like a year, I think. And so it's just like, yeah, just do it. What's the worst that could happen? She starts to, I say, get the fuck away from me. Cool, done. I
Yeah,
live with
yeah,
it. It's not a big deal.
yeah,
So, but yeah,
totally.
I will keep you guys updated.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah, awesome. Well, on that note, I have a little ditty that I want to share. I was cruising through my Instagram, and this really sat with me all day, and I really loved it. It's by an artist, graffiti artist person in Europe somewhere. He goes by Zenith, and he said he had this long post, and he said, "Let's nourish the soul and see what flowers might grow from that." And I just loved that. He's also talking about doing artwork for prisoners so they could, when they're outside, they can be inspired, especially during COVID time. So I liked it tied with that, but I just loved that whole thing. Anyways,
Totally.
I thought we could end it with that because that's lovely.
I like it.
So,
Everybody, nourish your souls and those around you.
yes, and take care during these COVID times. And we'll chat with you guys next time.